He didn't speak, but the whole room turned. Not because he was famous, not because he was flashy, but because his energy said one thing: I don't need your attention, and that's why you're giving it to me. That's Stoic energy, the kind of presence that demands respect before you even open your mouth. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how to build it. You've seen him. He walks into the room, and without speaking, the atmosphere shifts. People notice. People listen. Not because he's loud, not because he's famous, but because he carries something different. He doesn't demand attention. He doesn't seek approval. He doesn't try to prove anything. His energy speaks before he does, and it speaks loud. That's the man people respect. That's the man others instinctively follow. And that kind of presence, it's not a gift. It's trained. It's chosen. It's built. Welcome to the energy of the Stoic. Respect is not about being liked. It's not about popularity or charm. It's about weight, gravitas, an unshakable calm that others feel, even if they can't explain it. In a world addicted to attention, the man who doesn't need it becomes magnetic. In a culture that rewards volume, the one who chooses depth becomes rare, and we respect what is rare. Stoic energy is the art of silent influence. It's the power of restraint, the confidence of a man who knows himself deeply, so he doesn't need to be loud to be known. That's what makes you unforgettable. That's what draws people in, not your words, your weight. So, how do you build that energy? How do you develop a presence that speaks without sound, that commands without effort? It starts not with appearance, but with alignment. The Stoic is aligned with his values, his purpose, his standards, and alignment is felt when your actions match your words, when your emotions don't hijack your logic, when your walk matches your talk. People feel that. You become congruent, and congruence is powerful. The average man seeks validation. He needs to be liked. He performs. He over-explains. He laughs too loud. He speaks too fast. Why? Because his sense of self is fragile. But the Stoic doesn't seek to be liked. He seeks to be aligned. He doesn't change his energy to fit the room. He enters the room already rooted in who he is. This begins in solitude. The Stoic man trains when no one's watching. He keeps promises to himself. He gets clear on his principles. He confronts his shadows. He reflects on his choices. And that internal work becomes external presence. Confidence. That doesn't need an audience. Stillness. That doesn't collapse under pressure. Purpose. That doesn't need permission. He doesn't chase energy. He cultivates it. Through discipline, through discomfort, through choosing what's right over what's easy. Every cold shower, every early morning, every hard conversation, every time he says no to what weakens him and yes to what sharpens him. He's shaping his energy, sharpening his edge, refining his presence. This kind of man isn't desperate to talk. He knows silence is a statement. He doesn't need to overshare to connect. He lets others speak. He listens fully. And when he finally speaks, it cuts through the noise because his words are rare, and rare things are valued. He's not easily shaken. The world can fall apart, and he's still steady, still grounded, still leading, not because he feels nothing, but because he's trained to choose his response. He's detached from outcome. He's not owned by his emotions. He feels them, but they don't lead him. This emotional mastery radiates. It creates psychological safety. Others feel calm around him because he's calm within. Others trust him, not because he's perfect, but because he's consistent. He leads with presence, not pressure. He influences, without force. That's Stoic energy. People will test it. They'll poke, they'll provoke, they'll project. But he doesn't flinch. He doesn't match chaos with chaos. He lets his silence speak. He lets his standards speak. He lets his boundaries speak. He's clear on what he stands for. So he doesn't need to argue. He walks away when necessary, not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. He knows when to engage and when to let go, and that discernment is felt. It creates mystery, intrigue, respect. This kind of man doesn't chase status. He builds value. He doesn't need applause. His work speaks for him. He doesn't overpost, overshare, overspeak. He moves in alignment. And because his life is consistent, behind the scenes, it radiates on the surface. This is not theory. It's a daily practice. How you show up at the gym, how you handle adversity, how you respond to disrespect, how you treat people when no one's watching, how you maintain standards in your habits, your relationships, your goals. And it's not about being emotionless. It's about being emotionally sovereign. You can love deeply and still walk away when your values are crossed. You can feel grief and still stay grounded. You can be heartbroken and still lead. That contrast, depth without chaos, passion without neediness, is magnetic. So let's get practical. If you want to attract respect, without saying a word, start with your posture. Stand like you mean it. Shoulders back, chin up. Breathe deep. Move with intention. Don't fidget. Don't shrink. Don't scan the room for validation. Be the one others scan for. Next, your eyes. Don't dart around. Don't avoid. Look people in the eye. When they speak, be present. Don't look through them. Don't look over them. See them. Listen. That presence is felt. Then your walk. Don't rush. Don't drag your feet. Walk like a man who owns his time, who doesn't need to prove anything, who's going somewhere with or without attention. Your voice. Speak with clarity. No fillers. No upward inflection. No nervous laughs. Speak slow. Speak steady. If you don't know what to say, don't speak. Silence builds anticipation. Your decisions, make them from principle, not pressure. If something doesn't align, say no, clearly, respectfully. No justification, no apologies. Let your no be a full sentence. Your routine, keep it disciplined. Wake up early. Train your body, feed your mind, guard your time. Energy doesn't lie, and self-respect is visible. Your boundaries, enforce them, lovingly, but firmly. If someone disrespects you, address it or walk away. Don't engage emotionally. Lead with action. Do this daily, quietly, repetitively. And over time, your presence will change. People will feel you before you speak. They'll respect you before they understand you, not because of a title, but because of your energy. That's what Stoicism trains, not just mental clarity, energetic clarity, the ability to walk into any room and remain completely yourself, the ability to attract what's aligned and repel what's not, without ever raising your voice. So build that energy. Build it with breath, with stillness, with routine, with alignment, with how you show up when no one's clapping, with how you treat yourself when no one's watching. You won't need to beg. You won't need to chase. You won't need to convince. You'll simply arrive, and people will feel it. That's how you attract respect. Without saying a word, if this message hits something real in you, don't keep it to yourself. Drop a comment. Energy over noise. That's how we find each other. That's how we build a movement. Then share this video with one man in your life who's still chasing attention instead of commanding respect. We're not just viewers here. We're a tribe, of men who lead with stillness, who influence through presence, who rise without noise. This is Stoic reign. And this is just the beginning.